What's up? You're watching Wrong Side of the Tracks. I'm DJ Mighty Iris, and today we have Chant in the studio. We have Bradley and Chris from the band Chant. How you guys doing?
Pretty good. Good.
They just drove back from Corpus. You just had a show last night, right? In Corpus?
We had a couple of shows this weekend. We had a show in McAllen, Texas, and I always like going to the Valley. They really love music and appreciate the shows down there. So we had a great show there. Then we drove to Corpus and played there last night and drove straight back here so we could do this.
Without AC. Their AC ran out, so they've been like sweating like crazy, but they don't smell bad at all. They smell really good actually. So good for you guys. You're from Austin.
I am. I grew up near Dallas, but I moved to Austin about 15 years ago. Chant's based out of Austin. Started right around 2003, 2004. It was very experimental. Almost like a techno tribal, not very industrial.
Okay.
And then it kind of went to that, and then I added vocals, and it was meant to be multiple people, but it just ended up being a one-man band for a while. And after doing it about 5 or 6 years, and it really formed into this industrial, tribal rock type project, I wanted to add members, and we'll talk a lot about my connections with San Antonio, but I've known Chris a long time because he was playing in Emily's Gone Mad and Guild, and we'd do shows together. And I used to come down here and try to meet people in the scene. And the first people I met were, it was Atomics, right? It wasn't Sim 13 yet. It was Atomics. I got a show there, and they said, well, we'll let you play, but you've got to find a band to play with. And this is before MySpace or Facebook or all that shit.
Okay.
So I guess I Googled San Antonio Industrial, and Emily's Gone Mad.
That's pretty cool, man.
Along with Pitbull Daycare came right to the top of the list, and I emailed John Brown, and he said, yeah, we'll do it. And I drove down about a week or so before the show and watched them at White Rabbit, and I remember at first I met John, and we instantly bonded over our love of booze, you know.
Oh, nice.
and then I remember after the show they were done, I remember going and meeting Chris and Frankie and the guys backstage.
And it was love at first sight.
Yeah.
It was.
That's awesome.
I loved the whole 414 crew and all the bands in San Antonio that were making their own scene. And there was a little bit of that in Austin going on at the same time, so I would first bring some friends, Subnatural, down to play a show. We would bring Emily's Gone Mad up, and to this day, I would say we're all really good friends and close, and we've been in each other's projects, or provide production or drumming for each other's projects. And so to add Chris, again, it was just a natural progression of knowing each other, and me wanting to add members to the band, so Chant's very much just a project that could end up being more musicians or just stay us, or
So you're still open. That's cool.
Yeah.
I was a few interviews back. We kind of realized that everyone knows John Brown in San Antonio. I kind of think we should have this kind of counter. Like every time his name is mentioned in an interview, it just starts tallying up, and then when it hits like 1,000, like balloons fall.
We're gonna have a John Brown bobblehead right here, and you can smack it every time somebody knows him.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just got a really good. He's still like my Scott Weiland, that very charismatic, very outgoing. Everybody just wants to know him or does know him in some sort of way.
Yeah.
Well, absolutely. I mean, and that's the thing is he's an amazing frontman, amazing vocals. There's a lot of talent in San Antonio. There's a lot of talent in Austin. We're not too far apart. And so being in Chant, it's been great to come down and get to play shows with all of these bands and get to know them and now become friends with them for sure.
So how long has Chris been in Chant now?
As a live member, about 2 years now.
Yeah, I think so. About
2 years.
See, what made you want to start Chant? Like it was just you and drums and vocals, right?
Yeah. Well,
what made you want to put that kind of?
Wasn't vocals at first, but I'd been playing in metal and industrial and punk bands. I love all kinds of music, and I love playing drums. And I always thought of myself as just a drummer. But I was frustrated because the age-old thing is you're in a band for 3 or 4 years, you're finally good enough to do a national tour, and then everybody else finds out that it's real work. So the band breaks up, or nobody wants to work harder. So I just got to a point where I'm going to do it myself. Plus I wanted to create a project where I could really overindulge on the drumming and just really, you know, just go nuts on the drumming. So the songs are very crafted from a rhythmic perspective, and from, you know, instead of having a guitar riff create the song, it's drums. So live, it's this tribal, crazy Blue Man Group stomp kind of thing mixed with Nine Inch Nails. Super energetic, one song after another, in your face type stuff with lights and, you know, old school industrial, and that's the way it went. So that's what I wanted to do, and I did it instrumental first because I didn't think of myself as a singer. I'd never sung before.
Oh, really?
And then I realized after about 2 or 3 shows that it definitely needed some kind of way to connect with the audience, and then I couldn't bear to find a singer to sing what was in my head. So,
okay.
Like, I better do it myself, and you know, I think I've learned to use my voice for what I need to for Chant, for what I do.
Yeah. And what does Chris do for you now in Chant, now that he's in Chant?
The live setup is, so Chant, one of the things is I was really influenced by Crash Worship, kind of an underground, crazy tribal band from the West Coast. They did a lot of iconic shows in the 90s where they set shit on fire and, you know, just have this tray of fruit with a woman on it. They'd parade around, she'd throw fruit and give wine out to the audience. Very paganistic, you know, show. And so multiple drums. So we do double drums together a lot. We've taken a lot of the sequences that I compose, and actually he plays some of those keyboard lines live now.
Okay. So now there's keyboards in it. Were his keyboards?
Well, it always was. I compose and write everything. Okay. So what I did in the old days was, you know, everything that I composed was mixed down, and I played to the backing track. I'd hit play and just play the entire show and sing and play live drums on top of it. There's still backing tracks going on of what I've composed, but we take some of the lines that can be played live, and it's becoming more of a live feel to it because he's doing some of those keyboard lines. And then we'll go, man, this part right here would sound really good with double drumming. So we'll compose that around, you know, the different parts of the song. So generally what you have on the CD, it brings it to a whole nother level live.
How often do you guys practice?
I think we're at once a week now.
Yeah.
As we get ready.
I think it's funny because so I spent the first 5 years Chant playing as many shows as I could. You know, we would play Thursday in Austin because that's home base, Friday in San Antonio, Saturday in the Valley, come back. The next week would be Friday in Houston, Saturday in New Orleans, come back. The next week would be Friday in Dallas, Saturday in Oklahoma, come back. And we just kept doing that. So, you know, you practice to practice new songs, but you're really already rehearsed on the stuff you're doing. Whereas now we're in tour mode. I'm not really going to be doing a lot of these random shows. Instead, it's going to be do an album, wait, and do a national U.S. tour.
Yeah.
Then you take a break, write another album, maybe play one-off shows in Texas like we just did, you know, that makes sense, and then do another album. So we're in tour mode, right? Because the KMFDM tours.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's talk about the tour real quick.
So we got a U.S. tour with KMFDM. We were really lucky to be invited to play the tour in the spring with them. And then Sasha called me this summer and said we're coming back for a second round, and logistically it works because our setup's really up front, and we got along great. Our crews really work good together, and
how cool is that to get that call? You know what I mean?
It's great. It's great. Sasha's been really supportive and complimentary on what we do, and I'm a huge KMFDM fan, so you know, getting to do these type of things are just great. And you know, they show no signs of stopping. They're about to come up on their 30th anniversary, and just album after album, live. We saw them 22 shows in a row with one day off. They never had a bad show.
That's so
every
cool.
show they just brought it, and so it makes us want to do just as good. So
I'm excited. See you guys perform.
The tour kicks off this fall. It starts in Vancouver on October 20th and goes all the way around back to Seattle. There are 2 Texas dates. There's Austin, well actually there's Houston on Friday, November 8th, and Austin on Saturday, November 9th.
Okay.
So not far away from San Antonio at all, so everybody should come up to Austin. And that show's going to sell out.
Our tickets, when do those go on sale?
Tickets are on sale. Go to kmfdm.net/tour or chantproject.com/shows.
Okay.
And you go there, and all of them will link up to the individual cities you want to go to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Let's talk about your albums. You have 2 out right now.
2 albums out. One came out in 2007. I drove to Chicago to recorded it where they recorded all the Pigface albums. Martin Adkins recorded the drums, and Mark DeFore from Screw mixed it down. And then the second album came out about, I can't believe it, but it was almost 3 years ago. Strong Words for Strong People. And Chris Telks from Dallas, he's in the Razorblade Dolls, was in Nocturne. He has his own project, Bit Rot, and he recorded that album with me. He'd seen me live. We're friends because we played a lot of shows and in bands together in Texas, and he said, man, I'd really like to do your record because I've seen you live, and what I want to do is make a record that's closer to sounding like you are live, because the live show's just so intense, and how do you capture that on CD? And I think we got closer this time around.
I think I've seen some of your performances on YouTube, but like I want to see it, like actually see it. God, that'd be so cool.
It's fun. You gotta come to the KMFDM show.
I would love to. And you've performed with Lords of Acid also, haven't you? And the Throwkill Cult, right?
Yeah, definitely. Over the years, I've played 1 or 2 shows with Throwkill, and then finally we got like a 5-day run with them. Great guys, iconic band, great guys to be around. And then that led up to the Lords of Acid opportunity, which was a leg of their whole U.S. tour. And then, of course, their same management that does logistics for their touring saw how well we did and how responsible we were and that we could be depended on. And then I had done 1 show with KMFDM in 2009 in Austin. So I got to meet that crew and met Angel Spit there. We were talking about Angel Spit offline, you know. And, you know, that led to the KMFDM tour. So everything's been a natural progression, you know.
So you guys excited about the tour?
Super excited.
Very much, very much.
So you're saying you can get me in if I want to go?
Yeah.
And it's on camera, so
it's on camera.
I'm going to have to play it
we'll
for
get
you.
you in. Come to Austin. It's going to be a great show. We've got a lot of things to do between now and then. Chris Telks that recorded Strong Words for Strong People, we just got done tracking 3 new Chant songs. One of them's a cover. And it'll be announced when it gets released.
Damn it, so I can't ask you what it is?
I think it's something that people wouldn't expect. It's not like a 9 Inch Nails cover or anything. It's something...
Is it Putting on the Ritz?
No.
Okay, I just had to ask.
But we got that. We got 2 new tracks we recorded. I did vocals for them just a few weekends ago. And those are going to be free releases between now and the tour.
Sweet.
So we'll release them to fans for free. We may do like... one's free, but then if you come to the tour, we'll have a QC code where you can scan your smartphone and get the download, join the mailing list, and get it that way.
I need a smartphone first.
And do some remixes of that. And
I think it's so cool that you have remixes. I was telling Chris when I was chatting with him on Facebook that your songs are already very DJ friendly. If anyone wanted to do like an industrial night, well, a lot of DJs do industrial nights in San Antonio, but they're so DJ friendly already. But that's cool that you have remixes out too. That makes a DJ's face, you know?
Yeah, it's fun. Something I've meant to do for a while, and finally with getting the stem files all in one place where we could do that, been sending them to friends and letting them remix. We may do a remix contest a little later this year too.
Okay.
Trying to get all that squeezed in so the songs are ready to release. And then I've got the Evil Mothers thing. Evil Mothers is an iconic Satantonio band.
Satantonio.
The phrase they coined in the 90s. You know, Curse Mackey's from here and all the guys that are in various projects around San Antonio. They hadn't played in about 15 years, and I met Curse through the Pigface thing, and he's been such a great friend and given me advice and support and Chant all along the way. And when they did their reunion shows in 2011, he called me up and said, you know, we need a percussionist that bangs on all the metal percussion, and you know, came to mind. So we did those shows, and I've been just, as a fan and also friends of theirs and wanting to do another Evil Mothers show, I've been waiting to see what was going to happen. And there is a Chicago festival, September 27th and 28th, called the Cold Waves 2 Festival. And proceeds go to Jamie Duffy, who was an industrial icon that passed a few years ago. And Prong is playing.
Oh, sweet.
Members of the Revolting Cocks are playing.
No freaking way. I like the Revolting Cocks. That's so cool.
Members from
That's awesome.
McCarthy from Netzareb, a lot. I mean, the list goes on. But Evil Mothers is doing that festival,
Okay.
so we'll be at a secret location here in San Antonio over the next few weeks. Rehearsing to do the Chicago thing.
Okay.
And the other guys in Evil Mothers, they're in a band, Hog Bitch. You got to have Hog Bitch in here. The guys.
I never heard of Hog Bitch.
Yeah,
it's a fun name to say, Hog Bitch. Hog Bitch.
They've been playing around San Antonio, and they're going to be doing a tour up to Chicago, so we all converge and then do the Evil Mothers show there. So got the Evil Mothers things going, the new songs, rehearsing for the tour.
You guys are busy bees.
It's going to be the next month's going to be really busy, but a really fun time.
When is that cover gonna hit? Because I'm curious about that one.
I don't know which one we're going to release first. We got the 2 new songs and the cover, so. We might do that one first for free. We'll see.
That would be sweet.
Decide.
And what are the odds of you guys performing in San Antonio? I'm ready to beg.
Chris is his hometown, so.
I think it kind of just comes down to where we can kind of fit everything, because it's a pretty big production and setup, a little bigger than normal bands. So it's really kind of just coming down to where we need the room to be able to do it. And
You're still using the trash cans and
a good
all
sound
that?
system.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely. We've got traditional drum sets, a lot of floor toms. We've got a metal can set that I have with 30-gallon trash cans, 5-gallon buckets. We've got a satellite dish that might survive one more tour. If anybody out there has satellite dishes they want to get rid of that are metal, we use those. And then, this wall of lights that, these light towers we built that, Chris is the master behind the lights and have done things that, that national touring bands aren't doing. This light show is just incredible. And so we're at the point now where, we want to do the show we want to do, and we've got to make sure it's the right venue. We just have the right time. I don't see us playing in San Antonio before the Kim FDM tour.
Oh, okay.
But afterwards, I think maybe we can look at if something makes sense at the Crover or White Rabbit and stuff. I'll try to talk to Bishop and get him to do another Pitbull Daycare reunion.
Okay.
So we can do that. Was last December, and that was an amazing show.
So after the tour, maybe
those guys are awesome. San Antonio's just always had some great bands. It's been so cool to be in Austin and only be an hour away, to be able to do that. So
I was gonna suggest you perform at Oak Hills Tavern, and here's how we can do it. We just clear everything. Bugging. Yeah, we just clear everything out of Oak Hills Tavern, right? You could set up in there, and we can all listen to you outside. We can just sit outside and listen to you.
Be loud enough.
Yeah.
It will be loud.
But I want to DJ before you guys go on. I want to be the opening act. So that's how I imagine it. I think that'd be kind of fun.
Maybe we can work something out. It really has to be big enough and a good enough sound to where we can put on the show for people, whether it be free or $5. Even if I just want people to be able to. I mean, you're going to a show. I think that's the biggest thing that kind of got me into lighting and everything. Is that you go see a show or even a local show and you pay $5, sometimes $10, but do you really get your money's worth? No, you don't. They're not.
Yeah.
You're going to go see a show, and it's your job as an entertainer to.
I like telling the story, and I know we have limited time, but we were speaking of the Valley, we were at Chappa's Bar, this small bar in Brownsville. It was years ago, and it was a couple of metal bands, a couple of industrial bands, and after I played, it kind of cleared out because it was a weird crowd. There was only 4 kids in there, and there was this band called Hemlock, metal band called Hemlock. They were on the Ozfest tour, and they had a night off, and they had raced down to the Valley to play for some fans down there. And there was only 4 people, and I kept saying, well, we'll watch the first couple of songs and we'll go. And then he announced, we're on the Ozfest tour, and I'm thinking, they're gonna have big egos. And he goes, and what he said was, we just got done playing in front of 20,000 people. There's only 4 of you here, but you're getting the exact same show.
That's cool.
And they ripped into their set, and we stayed for the entire set because we were jaws to the floor. We couldn't stop watching them. And I learned a lesson there. I'm like, it doesn't matter where you're at or what audience you have, you've got to put on the most insane, passionate show you can play, and that's what we do. And,
that's good.
We want to make sure that if we play somewhere in San Antonio, we can do the whole show, but we'll figure out something. But really, it's just a matter of time. I love playing in San Antonio. I think we try to make it down a couple times a year. We played here on the first KMFDM tour at Backstage Live. You know, I was in March, so maybe by the end of the year we'll squeeze another one in.
Well, congrats on getting that tour again. That's so cool.
Thanks.
And
it's fun. I'm excited.
I'll wait for you guys to perform in San Antonio, like that Richard Marx song. I'll be right here waiting for you. Wait, real quick, before we end the interview.
Okay.
Talk about that band video from. I forgot to ask you that earlier.
Oh yeah.
Why was it banned?
The band video of YouTube. So I have 2 music videos that we shot. One's for Revolt.
I like that one.
And after we did that, I had the idea to shoot one for Need, because it's a song that I thought we could make a really good video with. And Need, the subject matter of Need is about, it sounds on the surface like it's just like a lust type, you know, connection. Like, you know, I really need you, I really need you. But it's also about like serial killer impulses. Of just having this impulse that you have to go through with something, you know, even if it's killing somebody, you just have this need. So very dark subject matter. So there's a video, I guess a VJ, if you will, in Austin, VJ Greek Fire, who does really subversive stuff, and we met and discussed what this could be, and we decided to go all the way, you know. So we shot this video, and I'll just have to go see the video. You know, it's on Vimeo now. It hasn't been banned yet, but we put it on YouTube and put all the disclaimers on there. You know, and you know, it's an art film, is what it is. And as soon as it started getting massive views, like we're up to 7,000, it's like they pulled the plug on it. Somebody reported it. You know, so it's.
So where can you still see it?
Chant has a Vimeo channel, and it's all I can say is it's linked up from my Facebook page and from chantproject.com. Go to chantproject.com, and you can be linked up to our Twitter account, our Facebook, our YouTube channel, so you can watch all our videos except for the one that was banned, and you can link up to the Vimeo channel.
Oh, okay.
For Need.
I want to go see
the video. Super sexy video and creepy. I was surprised it got banned, only because, you know, it's selective. I think, you know, Antwerp or a band can have, you know, dicks out, you know, poking in kids' faces. And because they're making millions of dollars of ad revenue for YouTube, they won't ban them. But, you know, underground bands that maybe aren't so mainstream, they ban them, and I think it's a double standard. And you know,
well, damn the man.
But what's great is we did a limited release on thumb drives of that. We had creepy doll parts in like a forensics evidence bag with a thumb drive and stuff, and those sold out. So they're collector's items now because you can't get them anymore. But fans took the video, and sometimes they'll upload the video since they have copies floating around now.
That's cool.
And then I'll get banned again. So hopefully we'll just keep getting banned, and you know, it'll be good.
All right. Well, yeah, go check them out in not San Antonio. Sorry, see, I'm getting ahead of myself. In Houston and Austin. What were the dates again? 8th and 9th?
November 8th and 9th.
November 8th and 9th. I listened to their songs on reverbnation.com/chant. And where else did you want them? Direct them to what other websites? Yeah.
Chantproject.com.
Chantproject.com.
Link up with everything.
And check this out. They brought me a shirt too. See?
Revolt.
Yeah. Now I'm part of the revolution. And these are the albums. Where can they find these?
If you search iTunes up, Chant's a pretty common name, obviously, so a lot of gospel music will come up, you know, chanting to the Lord and everything. But just go to chantproject.com and everything will link up. You can go to the store. You can buy physical copies on there, which everything I do is there's the discs. If you put them in a computer, a bunch of art comes up. Like the DVD that we have that's on there, you can put it in and watch it in a DVD player, or you can put it in a computer and access all the remixes that you got. So
very cool.
There's things like that, but we're on there. We have our own web store, or we're on iTunes and Amazon.com as well.
Okay, cool. Thank you guys for being on the show.
Thanks,
and I look
Iris.
forward to
It's
going
good to
on
meet
tour
you.
with you. I'll go pack my bag, and I'll just you can sneak me in the van, and I'll go on tour with you guys. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you for
thanks,
watching
guys.
Wrong Side of the Track.
Cheers.